You got
Oh,
me
yeah.
back?
Yeah, you're good. Sorry, go ahead.
So VO definitely the leader within hardware, and now we have team analytics and individual player analytics too. So we continue to make strides within our software as well.
This is something that when I was a coach at that time, I don't know if Veo was even around. It was 2014 when I became a head coach, a varsity head coach at Birmingham Groves High School. And at that time, I think it was going in my second year, we were looking for an analytical component to help us with our program. And at that time was Huddle. And so they offered like a Huddle with an iPad they sent my way. And I could not live stream it. It was like a recorded on there and then you uploaded it. It took like 6 hours to record or upload into my at my house. And I had the fastest internet at the time, by the way. But the cool thing about it was within a couple, within a couple days, I would have like this full data report of like passes and complete. It was really, really kind of a cool thing that you were able to do. And obviously, there's a number of camera companies now that offer these types of solutions. But what sets Veo apart from the other ones, right? Because at the end of the day, you all offer very similar type things, right? You all offer a camera component. You all now have analytics. You can all offer a little highlight clips. What separates Veo from the other ones?
Yeah, great question, John. In my mind, there's two major points, and it's not so much when we dig into little details. I'm going to be a little more broad here. First one is just quality. I think the quality of people that are designing the hardware and software within the Copenhagen office, and then also the quality, you can see it uh, within the camera, right? The way that the camera is able to track the ball, the way that the quality of the picture, not just with a VO3 camera, but even with the VO2 camera as well, it beats all of our competitors. The ease of setup, that is just quality experience. And then the second thing that I think of when I think of VO and just being above the rest of the competition is now looking at where we're going. The way that we produce things with AI, if it's going to be breaking down with all of our analytics for the whole team, individuals, but what we have upcoming that I can't really talk about too much. There's one aspect that we have that's within the platform right now. It's called Coach Assist. So now coaches are able to put in, hey, this is the way that we're trying to play. And VO with Coach Assist will produce recommendations, not telling coaches how to coach, but making it easier for them to say, hey, maybe I should be doing this in training, or what are trends that AI is seeing within our matches. So that is out right now and just for testing. But the way that VO continues to push limits through AI and the next steps, I think, is way beyond our competition.
I would imagine that some of the big, and I had this conversation with clubs all across the country, coaches as well, and I think that the biggest challenge that this is that you face, that all organizations face, is the willingness of the coach to take on this role, right? Because for every we talk about it all the time. There's great teachers out there, right? They're really great. They have all these great tools and resources. They use everything they possibly can to make their classroom the best. And then you have the ones who are like, I show up, I get my paycheck, I'm a teacher, I'll teach, but I'm not like, I'm not going to go above and beyond. And not to say that's a bad, well, I do think it may be bad on some level. It's just how it is, right? You've got good, bad, you've got better, right? And so, to be fair, I don't think we're speaking to the coaches who care about all of this. I think we're speaking to the coaches who are in that middle right now, the ones who are like, you know what, I love coaching, I love what I do, but I don't know if I have the time, I don't have the ability, maybe I don't have the know-how to set this thing up. Maybe all those other things that might be maybe prohibiting them from doing this. What's the message to that coach who's like in that realm right now, where I think a vast majority of coaches are at? Where they're like, hey, I love coaching, but I just don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can set this thing up. I don't know if I can, do all the things that are associated with this.
Yeah, it's a great question. And I think within youth soccer right now in the States, video is just minimum standard. So those that want to capture footage of their kids, of players, that is just bare minimum. So even if you're a coach that doesn't want to do anything else besides be on the field and coach, parents are going to ask. And at the end of the day, if you want to retain players at your club, you have to provide a service for them that's going to be a little bit different than other clubs. And for the coach that doesn't want to go through all these steps, with VO, with what we provide, you can have parents set up the camera, you can have everything done for you, and VO does the work for you in terms of analytics for team, for player, capturing it. So it is really easy to get it all situated. There's not a huge issue trying to get parents. Parents are very eager within the soccer world just to get extra resources for their kids and for the team. So as long as you're able to go and ask questions or delegate, you're totally fine.
Which, again, I would imagine that is a case for a lot of these teams and clubs. So again, I talked with it just here last week with a club. They're like, hey, we make it mandatory, but does that mean it's even going to happen?
Yeah.
And we this past summer we dealt with the WPSL League for Clubs. We dealt with UPSL. All these leagues have made streaming mandatory, right? It's mandatory, right? You are required to stream, and so they don't tell you how. They just say you're required, which I think and I've talked about this with leagues all the time. I go, you can't make something mandatory if you don't actually give them the resources in order to do it, right? To pull it off, because I've been doing this long enough to know that just because you say it doesn't mean it's going to happen. And then more importantly, what's the resources? What's the tools? And there are obviously resources and tools that are available to allow teams to live stream like this. And what we found this summer when we were dealing with the teams that had access to a huddle, a VEO, a Spidio, probably 80% of those teams had no idea how to assist us in the process. Okay. And so we had to take over in a lot of cases. We had to get access to their VO Clubhouse. We had to get access into their Huddle TV account, right? And their back end, right? The V Cloud, as it's called, right? We had to get access to these environments to set these cameras up because they just couldn't do it. The question I have for you is this. Is there, at some point in time, is Aveo going to get into the world of maybe helping production companies like me with a platform that I can just tap into? Because I'm telling you, trying to get their login information and trying to get it all set up to make these streams work has been one of our biggest challenges. It's been rewarding when we get it to work because you'll go watch our games from this summer. I would argue that probably 60% of them had the Veo logo in the right-hand corner. Right. And so, and so I'm curious your thoughts. Are we going to get that for us? At least for me. I don't care about anybody else's production company, but I want it for me.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I think out of all the companies, we'd probably be the closest to it just because of how innovative our leadership thinks and what they would like to do and how they want to bring access to, if it's live streaming, if it's going to be a production within matches, to the mass audience. So I think we'd be the closest. I don't have a specific timeline for you, John. Wish I did.
I need it tomorrow, but, Dan. Tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, if I had it tomorrow, it would be great. But I do think that there are conversations to be had to continue to push the agenda of bringing soccer to a mass audience through production, through our live streaming.
And again, it's one of those things too. We have a lot of great partnerships in the soccer space. One with Veo, where now if you go on our website and you are looking to purchase a camera for your club, your team, hey, if your mom or dad out there, I think that there's this mindset this is for clubs only or for teams only. I mean, there are moms and dads out there who I have seen setting up a Veo camera that they have purchased on their own, and they do that because they want their child, if their coach doesn't have this, to have film. Have this game film. And while we can argue that, having a Panasonic, camcorder with, 18 times zoom and all the bells and whistles is far better than any IA camera on the market, this solves a problem. The problem, which is all you got to do is just set up a camera and walk away. I mean, there's no more. You set up and walk away. I mean, you've taken away the human aspect of this, which is sometimes extremely hard to find. In our world, finding a camera operator can be one of the hardest and most challenging things. And so having an AI camera can solve that problem because the game is still going to happen. And that's something that we used to talk about a lot here internally about how, hey, we're always going to use, manned camera operators and real cameras. And while our goal is to always do that, the game is still going to happen whether I have a camera there or not. And so at the end of the day, we said, well, let's make sure we have, a camera, any camera to capture this event, because at least then it's being captured. And I don't know what your percentages are. You probably know how many cameras are out there in the world, and not that you need to share that with me, but how many cameras do you think right now are live streaming? If you had put a percentage on it across the entire country, is it 10%? Is it 15%? What's the number of clubs and or teams that are actually live streaming their games?
Yeah, it's a great question. If I had to put a number on it right now, within the last year, because we've been having a major push, I would say 25%. And that's because of the push of saying, hey, this is accessible to clubs. And the way that we price it out for video cameras, we make it very accessible just to add it on. Obviously, it depends on your coverage and what provider you're going with, because you plug in a SIM card in the back. It can be T-Mobile, it could be Verizon, it could be Mint Mobile. Depends on who you're working with. But yeah, I would say 25% the past year. It definitely grew from 10 to 15%, though.
Is there a plan for Veo to get into the bonded technology aspect of this as well, where you're utilizing multiple SIM cards?
I don't think so right now. That's not within the roadmap from what we've been talking about. So there's other priorities. And John, if you don't mind, just one big priority is our VO Go. And I know you were mentioning within parents wanting a camera or something to record. So it's interesting enough. We just released this September 2nd, and the VO Go is essentially now you don't have to purchase a camera that looks like thousands of dollars. You are now purchasing the software and then a tripod with a phone mount. So you can have two iPhones that are on the phone mount, and then that will record the game. You'll hook it up with another phone, so three phones to get it all situated. If you have one from one parent, one from another parent, you stick it on the tripod, and then from there you're able to record your match. Now you're able to do that for under $500 a year. So when you talk about accessibility for parents, for teams, the recreational level, just to get footage, this is a no-brainer. And I think it's going to rock the recreational youth soccer market for sure.
So it looks like you are looking to compete with like the likes of Xbot Go.
Yep, exactly. And what I mentioned at the beginning of this podcast, just the quality. If you see the quality of the VO Go, everyone knows the quality of their camera on their iPhone, right? It's top quality. So just being able to utilize our software and stitch that all together, I think it's going to be the best in the market, which I think it is right now. But it just got released, and we'll see how it goes.
No, it's really really cool. I was not aware of that new technology, which is really cool. Again, it solves a problem, right? Because again,
Mhm.
to buy these cameras, if you're a club, you're investing $2,000-3,000 to get the camera, and then you're paying a
Yep.
monthly fee to have access to the systems and resources that support that camera and allow players, coaches, and the club to access the analytical component of this as well. And so, giving this solution, it solves a number of problems, especially for those single teams who are looking for coverage of their games. And so it's a phenomenal product, and I'm excited to have a chance to take a look at it and put it to the test here in our space and in what we do.
Yep.
We ask a lot of questions here, and I'm going to ask you two final questions. The U.S. men's national team is playing here in Japan tonight. They're doing
Yep.
so in Columbus, Ohio, at lower.com field. My question for you is this: who wins tonight, and what's the score?
Uh, I'm going to go the U.S. wins tonight. I'm going to flip the score from South Korea and say we win 2-0.
Oh,
Uh,
2-0. Okay,
yeah,
okay. So Dan
you
Pennisi
mark it down.
is saying U.S. men's soccer team wins 2-0. Now, just so you know, on Friday I said they were going to win 3-0 today, so you're not in bad company. That
Oh,
was
there it
before what
goes.
happened on Saturday, so I'm not changing my prediction, but I'm definitely rethinking it. And then my thought process. My last question is this: we ask everybody that joins us, at least we try to. If today was your last day on Earth, and you knew you had your last meal,
Damn, this
what would it be?
So I'm originally from the Philadelphia area, and I come from Italian background. I'm taking my mom's Italian. If I'm gonna go pasta and meatballs, that's it. That is last
I like
meal on
that.
earth.
I'm not gonna lie. I was like, when he said he was from Philadelphia, I was getting this expectation that he was gonna go with a Philly cheesesteak.
That's
Just the way
exactly
you
what
let
I
it,
thought.
though,
Yeah.
I felt like you were gonna
Maybe
go
a
that
little
direction.
twist.
He threw in the
Yeah,
twist.
a little bit of a
All right,
twist.
all right.
Yeah.
I was not aware that Philadelphia was known for their Italian meatballs. Were you known, Ryan?
I would not have. Not.
But
at all.
it's the Italian heritage. It's all
It's the
within
mom
South
spaghetti.
Philly.
You know,
Yeah, the mom spaghetti.
Mom spaghetti.
Yeah.
There is a mom
You
spaghetti
got it.
here in Detroit, but Eminem's mother is mom
Yep.
spaghetti. But
Yeah, have you had that, Dan? Mom spaghetti?
I mean, just my own mom spaghetti. That's it.
no,
Oh,
he hasn't.
okay.
He hasn't. He has not had Eminem's mom spaghetti, which, by the way,
Yeah.
I've heard is good. I guess, but it also depends on the sauce. So, sauce is everything when it comes to the spaghetti. I know we talk about the noodles, but if the sauce is too rich, it's not sweet. There's a number of ways you can go with it. So,
Dan, I got a question for you. So one of my roommates in college, Italian, and I would always mess with him, and I'd like break the noodles. Is that really frowned upon?
It is.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah,
I was
it
doing a really
definitely is
good job to
frowned
annoy
upon.
him.
And just to throw you another twist, this might be just our own family, and so it might be a little weird. The sauce, we don't call it sauce, we call it gravy. So
Oh.
I know gravy is brown gravy, but the red sauce, we still call that gravy. That might be a Pennisi family thing because I've asked other Italians and they're like, no, it's sauce. But then I've asked other Italians and they're like, no, we call it gravy too. So Ryan, you got to
I think it's important I say this. My mom and dad recently did that 24 you and me thing. My entire
Okay.
life up until about 2 years ago, I was told that I was Italian. And come to find out, I have zero Italian in me. So, being that you just said gravy, you might be German.
Yeah. Well, we have
a look?
we have a little bit of a Polish side to us, but we don't really like to talk about it too much.
Did you say you have a Polish side, Dan?
He did.
Oh, come on. I'm Polish too. You gotta.
Come on, you got to have the one. We stick with one and we talk about it the most. We don't really talk about our Polish side.
Yeah, they may throw the kielbasa every once in a while on a pasta dish.
It stinks, but it's good.
Well, Dan, hey, we appreciate you stopping on by. And we will continue to talk about our great partnership with Vail. Dan, you're always welcome to be a part of what we're doing. Hey, every time you have a launch, let us know. We'll happy to bring you on.
Yeah, I appreciate it. We'll get you a VO Go camera or the tripod and all, and you can unbox it right on the episode.